What's going on, guys? This is Brian with Brian's Auto and Diesel Repair here in Cedar Hill, Texas. Today I'm going to show you how to remove a turbo on a Ford 6.0 liter diesel Powerstroke. This will be the truck that we're doing it on, and I'm going to take you step by step on how to remove this turbo and also how to install this turbo. It's super easy once you get used to it. I've done a ton of them. Actually, I have a video that shows how to do it, but I'm going to focus more on the turbo on this than anything else. So, join me and we will get this sucker done. You're going to take this cap off here, and then you're going to come down here on the driver's side, and you're going to drain it right there. See where it's draining? Yours is going to be right there too. You're going to drain it. Drain the coolant out of it first. Next, guys, what you're going to do next is you're going to pull your coolant reservoir off first, and we're going to pull this coolant hose out here, and we're going to pull our air filter housing out. So coolant, air filter housing, and we're going to coolant and air filter housing and your pressure pipe here. These three things will be next. Get you a bungee cord and lift this section up there to hold it out of place. That'll help you out. Guys, we got all three of those off. As you can tell, we got the coolant reservoir off, we got the pressure pipe on the passenger side off, and we got the air filter housing out of the way. Now this is an aftermarket air filter housing, so yours will be a little bit different, but it's super easy. And if you can't get the air filter housing off, you shouldn't even be doing this job. So get that air filter housing out there, get this pipe off, get the coolant drained out, and the coolant reservoir taken out, and now you can see the turbo clear as day. So next we're going to be focusing on this pipe right here. This is going to take a 10mm wrench, and you're going to need an 8mm socket and extension to get down there at the other side of it, down there in the middle. So we're going to pull that pipe off next, and I'll guide you through the next steps. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get this pipe out of here next, right here. You're going to need a 10 wrench and then an 8 socket and extension for that down part right there on the other end of it right there. It's a beautiful day here in Texas. I don't know what the weather's like over there by y'all, but we've had horrible temperatures past couple of days, below zero and all kinds of stuff, and ice. And you know how us Texans deal with ice, you know. Always have you a magnet handy. I bought these on Amazon. They're really good magnets. You get 2 per pack. One's bigger. This is the smaller head one. These work good because you can bend them any which way you want, and They get into tight spots, so I always recommend getting you a magnet, this style magnet. Get a short too. I use a ratchet wrench on these after I break them loose. It makes it so much easier. You could use actually a hand ratchet too if you want. Usually they'll come out by hand though. These are coming out a little harder for some reason, don't know why. Maybe somebody tried to cross thread them in at one time, but they usually come out pretty easy. Like this one's coming out pretty easy. Once you break them loose, they should come out by hand pretty quick. So once you get this loose, you'll pull it out. Just twist and pull at the same time, just like I'm doing. See how I'm twisting and pulling? Bam, pops out. You got that O-ring holding you right there. Okay, we got that out of the way. We'll get this went to our charge pipe. We'll get that out of the way. You want to unplug this. 90% of the time, you're gonna break the clips on it. Don't worry about it. It never comes unplugged, so you don't really have to worry about it. So you're gonna unplug that right there. Mine has no clips. Go figure, right? So next, let me show you something here. Makes your job 100% easier. Now I sprayed these on Friday, but I'm gonna respray them again to show you how to do this. So you want to get you some good spray here. I use this lube all. It's the deep lubrication stuff. This stuff works so good for y'all. And you see right here, coast on. Hold on. Coast on. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second, all right? All right, this out, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, look, I got a light now. See this clamp there? You're gonna undo this clamp right here. And you're gonna spray all the exhaust all the way around. Make sure you get all the way around because you want this clamp to come loose as easy as possible. Same thing on this side. You're gonna undo this clamp here, and then you're gonna spray it all around this clamp. Just drench it and let it sit for about 30 minutes before you even try. And I guarantee you these clamps will come off so much easier. So we're gonna do that next, and we're gonna undo our bolts. So there's a bolt here, down here on the side here. There's also one right here. Mine's already almost out, but there's one down there on the side. And then there's one in the very back behind the turbo here. It's really hard to get to. I'll show you how to get to that once we get there. But right now I'm fixing to get these clamps off. So you'll get you an 11mm socket for them and extension. And you'll hit these two real quick and we're gonna get those clamps off, okay? We'll start with this passenger side first, y'all. See, my clamp's loose, y'all. I'm gonna show y'all. My clamp is loose. Usually you have to get a pry bar to get them off, but when you do what I'm talking about, you won't have to worry about all that. If you spray them first, they'll come off so much easier. That's probably the most important thing on this whole job. Spraying your clamps down. So, I'm gonna show you. Didn't have to use a pry bar or anything, y'all. See that? Clamp comes right off if you do what I'm telling you to do. So, I'm telling you, you don't do that. You're gonna have fun. You're gonna thank me in the comments. I guarantee you that. All right, let's see if this one's long enough. All right. Let's see if this one does like that one. Now I sprayed them Friday, so I kind of cheated. It's Monday now. Look at that. Clamp's loose. Clamp's loose. I cannot believe it. And now it's not loose on one side, but it's gonna come right loose. So what we'll do is you get you a pry bar where it's kind of stuck on one end right now. So I get this pry bar and I go okay. There it is. Y'all don't believe me, do y'all? You will thank me in the comments. See what I'm saying? You will thank me in the comments if you do what I'm saying. Everybody that's done this job before knows what I'm talking about too. So we're gonna get our tins out. You got one on this side of the turbo on the front there, and you got another one on this side of the turbo in the front. They're 10mm heads. You need to break those loose. I recommend you getting a wrench, a regular wrench, not like this, a regular wrench, and then just be real careful. Sorry about that, y'all. All right, here's the wrench I'm using. You're gonna get back here, put it on your nut, and you'll use all your might. Sometimes you gotta use a pry bar, they're so tight. Mine are already pre-loosened, so here's the first one. They'll both look like, all three bolts are gonna look like this. Now, the other one, I'm gonna put the camera back there. I'm not 100% sure if we'll catch it, but I'm gonna try and show you where that other third bolt is real quick. If you go back here, it's gonna be straight down. And I don't know if I'm catching it or not, but it should be somewhere straight down from there, y'all. I do it by feel, and I'll get an extension. I'll show you exactly what I get to use it, all right, y'all? To be able to break it loose. So I'll get a deep 10mm socket like this. Then I'll get a short extension. Then look, this is the other one. You'll get a little stubby extension, and that makes it perfect length for you. And my stubby is in here. Them clamps come right off, Lloyd. Right here. Yeah. This one right here, y'all. You'll get a little stubby like that. This will give you just enough room to get a ratchet on it and get that 10mm bolt in the back out. Now I hope I caught that bolt so you're able to see it, because I usually do it by feel. And you'll get you a hand ratchet. And that's too big. You need a little one. You got a little stubby ratchet or something? I thought I had one in here. Where's my stuff? Here it is. I got it, Lloyd. Just get you a little stubby hand ratchet. You might need a big one though, if they're real tight. So if it's super tight, you'll need a super long one, you'll need a longer ratchet per se. So anyways, you'll get that, you'll put this on like that, and that will give you just enough room to get in there and get that out. So we're gonna go ahead and do that real quick. I'm gonna put y'all up right there. Y'all can see the back of my ugly head. Alright, here we go. So I'll go in with around this side, with my arm around this side, and you can kind of see it. So coast on, coast maximum. Okay, you can kind of see it right there. See the head of it right there. Now I'll get my ratchet on it, and See, I have just enough room for a ratchet. So I'm gonna get my ratchet on it and try and get it out. Broke loose real easy. So sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. Just depends on if He-Man decide to get in there and super tighten it. Once you do this, the turbo is actually free from the pedestal. We're gonna get this turbo out of here. I told y'all it was super simple. This is not hard. Now, you can pull this turbo out without removing this alternator. Just be very careful not to ground anything off at that back wire on the alternator. Mine happens to have the rubber still on it, so yeah, mine still has a rubber on it right here, so it may not hit there, but just be real careful if you're pulling this turbo off without pulling the alternator. So, and it can be done, so just be real careful. You have to kind of flex it. I'll try and show y'all how to get it out of there, or y'all might see how I'm getting it out. So in any case, I got to get this bolt out. Once I get the bolt out, I'm going to show you how to break this turbo loose from the pipes. It's super simple. There's our other bolt. I'm going to go get a pry bar so I can show y'all. Get you a pretty big pry bar, right? And what you'll do is you'll put this pry bar in there. See how that's loose? You'll put the pry bar in. What you're going to do is you're going to lift up. You'll lift up into the driver's side. Up into the driver's side. Ready? One. Hold on. Let's get. And also make sure this back pipe is disconnected, which you'll use the pry bar to pull up on that lip and make sure it's off. So you're going to lift up and towards the driver. Ready? Just like that. See how that turbo come loose now? Now, we have to position it just right to get it out. Just right. And like I said, it has to come out of this alternator side. Hold on, my gloves caught on something. Alright, just be real careful. Alright, see how I got it out? Without moving the alternator. We're moving the alternator. So, we got the turbo out. There's how you get the turbo out. Easy peasy. I had to pull this turbo out because I ran into something I've never ran into on these 6.0s. I had an IPR break on me. Look at that. See that IPR is stuck. The part of the IPR is stuck into the housing here, and I need room to be able to maybe get it out, twist it out of there. But that's supposed to be attached to the IPR right now. I don't know what happened. We're gonna pull this out and put a new IPR in it and see what happens. Maybe the truck will start. So anyways, I'll show you how to install this turbo back when I come down to it. That's how you remove it. Super simple. All right guys, what we're gonna do, we're gonna install our turbo back. But first we're gonna put this bracket in here first. Back in here, we got our new IPR installed right there. I don't know what happened to that IPR before, but we got a new one in there. And we're gonna put our bracket in. I'm gonna just set y'all up right here so you can see. There you go. Put your bracket in here. I'm gonna show y'all a trick too with this bracket if y'all want to do it this way. We're gonna get our 4 bolts and put them in the bracket here. We'll put all 4 of our bolts in here. So my trick is on this, you're gonna leave these tins loose. You're gonna go all the way down till the bracket is just where you can jiggle it, right? we're not going to fully tighten it until we get the turbo in. And there's a method to it why I'm doing it this way. So you'll coast on. So you'll just tighten these down where they're a little loose. A little loose. All right, so you want it to be able to move a little. See how it's moving a little? There's a method to that. You want it to move a little so we can get the turbo to line up with this part of the exhaust right here on this side over here. And in order to do that, if you leave that bracket loose, you can get it to line up right. So now we're going to install our turbo here after we put our drain pipe in here. You'll just put that in there and kind of make sure it's fully in like that. And now we're going to put our turbo in. Now be real careful, because you gotta get it in there just right to not hit this alternator. Some people just take the alternator out too, so you can do that if you want to. Shot. Yes. When what? Huh. Yeah, what year is it? Alright guys, I had a phone call come in. You see I got that turbo in there like that. I'm going to set y'all up. I'm going to show you how I get it in there, and just watch carefully. I'm going to just work it in there and try and get all the exhaust lined up. So bear with me for a few minutes and we'll get it nice and steady. And remember, I have that pedestal loose, right? There's a reason for that. Now we gotta line it up. You gotta get that drain pipe. No. Bam! So I got it in there, guys. So look, since I left that loose, y'all, see how it's moving a little? That gives me just enough room to get that clamp on with no gap in between. You want that to line up perfect there. So since I got it to where it moves, when I tighten down on the clamp, it's gonna pull it both together. Then, after you tighten just that clamp, then do your bottom bolts on your turbo bracket. All right. Okay, guys. I got my bolt started. You can see my wrench down there on that one bolt. And you got the one on the other side over there. And then you got this one back in the back. You can see my socket here. See my socket. See it right above there? There's my socket right there. That bolt goes straight down. Very hard to see, but you'll just have to go by hand. You'll tighten all three of those bolts down and your turbo will be tight. Also, don't forget to tighten with a wobble your bracket that holds the turbo in down. Just tighten those tins down and everything will be tight. So I'm gonna leave y'all here and y'all can enjoy the show and watch me do this. You don't have to barrel down on them, just make sure they're tight a little bit. You don't have to barrel down on them. I'm gonna get the back one now. Never use electric ratchets on this part because you don't want to strip these. And you don't barrel down on them, please, because when you want to pull this turbo back off, it'll make it so much easier. Just make sure they're wrist tight. And now the turbo's tight down on the bracket there. Now the bracket's just moving. So now we got to tighten our bracket down. Let me go get a 1/4 inch. There's a wobble tin, and I'm gonna just go down here and tighten down these bracket, the turbo bracket bolts, and I'll show you. It won't move after you do this. Even if you do one, look, no movement. But you want to do all of them. Bam. So now turbo's tight in there, it's not gonna move. You're gonna get your clamps now. Oh, actually we should have done that first. It's okay, it's okay. So I'm gonna get a pry bar real quick and I'm gonna tap it. I may loosen them back up if it doesn't work. So you'll get you this, and you'll just maybe I messed up, guys. Yeah, I think that'll work. I may loosen it up just to know, just to make sure. That's why I left them loose anyway. There we go. Now I will tighten it up. I'll tighten it up after. I'm gonna put my clamp on real quick so I don't have to do it all over again. You'll put your clamp on like this. You want this facing this way. Now we're going to tighten this, and then we'll tighten our hold down bolts. Alright, it's tight now. Now we will we'll tighten down our turbo hold downs after I get my socket that I dropped. Okay. Now tighten these back down on the side. Got it. Then this one in the back. Which was not even that loose. Just enough to make some movement. We'll put our other clamp on. This is the passenger side. You want the bolt facing towards passenger side. So, just like I showed it, we'll put it on. It'll look just like this. Just like that, facing outward. And we'll get 11 and we'll tighten this clamp down. Tight. Got our clamp tight now. Turbo's tight, clamp's tight. You're going to install your feed pipe. Remember, it goes down here. You got an 8mm bolt that goes down here. Just work it around all these wires. A bunch of wires down here. I usually unplug these, but you don't have to, man. Just like that. You worked it down, work that O-ring in there. And you'll get your 8 right here. Get it down there. You may have to use a magnet, which I'm going to do so I don't lose it. And you work it down there with a magnet. Got it. Then then you'll get your 2 tins for the top. Make sure your gasket's still there. There's a gasket that goes in between. Make sure it's still there. If not, get you a new one. Start these up. Well, I don't know what the deal is with this. Somebody had a hard time with this before. I've never had a problem with these. I'm gonna pull this one out because I can see it better. Let's get this one started first. I think somebody twisted it or something. That's probably why it was so hard coming out, huh? So I got them started. Shop. Hello. Alright. Just tighten them down, take your time. And then take our time here. Get these 2 10s tight, then we're going to do our 8 down there at the other part of it. Brian's Auto and Diesel Repair. Hello? Yeah, Brian's Auto and Diesel Repair. Then you'll get your 8mm. And you get down here on your deal here. Tight. Got that tight? All that's tight. We need to run remember our wire here. It goes here. Hold on. You run it behind this pipe here. And if you have your clips, you know, clip it right there. There it is, that's plugged up. Next, we will put our pipe back in over here. The charge pipe. Actually, we put our charge pipe and everything, but I'm doing something else in diagnosing this truck. So I'm gonna leave everything off, but you'll put your charge pipe back when you're done. And you will put your air filter housing back in. And you will put your coolant reservoir back on, and your hoses, you'll put your one hose from that coolant reservoir goes here, the other hose goes here, and then this hose down here, it connects here, and then fill your coolant back up and it should start right up. That's how you do this turbo. Super easy, super simple. If this video helped you or you need any help from here on out on putting it back together, just leave me a comment. I'll tell you how to do it. It's so simple. But there's a few other videos where I take this off, and that's crazy. My screen's messed up. So anyways, that's how you do the turbo. Hope it helped. Leave a like, share, comment, whatever.